Mr. Pradip, you can't act, so don't even try acting. So just think the life starts today. So that
has it been your philosophy or principle in business also that
we have done highest number of projects in Kolkata city. We have done more than 200 projects.
what you have made, the business empire that you have made over the years?
See, I always tell my young entrepreneur that don't believe when people tell you something can't be done. First, I am first in this market. Mr. Ford, having visited our college, told me that Mr. Chopra,
So you have been a real estate entrepreneur, businessman.
now making films, and we are also doing a lot of films made out of artificial intelligence. I'm making one museum in, you can't stop an idea whose time has come.
Welcome to this whole new episode, and today we have a very distinguished guest with us who possibly doesn't need any introduction. Nevertheless, Mr. Pradip Chopra is the chairman and owner of PA's Group. You move around all across the city, you will find PA's Group, the skyscrapers and housings all across the city. But he has many hats on top of his head. Today we'll start with the latest one, probably your latest passion, getting into films and acting. Your latest film, is this going to be your third one or fourth?
Yeah, this fourth one.
Fourth one. So could you tell us something about this fourth film, which is going to have its national release very soon?
See, this film is in Hindi, and we started making films just to give the students of our institute, ILEAD, of the film making department, realistic exposure, because not normally when we use what we use in film is in the institute is ordinary cameras and things like that, but when you are making a film you use very expensive cameras, you really have a professional team, and they get a high hands-on experience, real life experience. So that was the reason we started making films, and the other objective was to give a message. Every film had a message. So my first film was based on my own experience. My mother was having cancer, and the doctor said that the best thing you can do is do no treatment, because treatment will be more painful than the disease itself. And I had seen this happening with my partner's wife, and so we took a decision of not doing any treatment, and she lived for another 2 years, and we just gave that 2 years being best of her life. We wanted to give this message to people, that people sell their household, gold, their assets and everything, fighting a battle which they are going to lose anyway, and they put the patient also on painful experience. So they should not do this. The latest film is about a 75-year-old man, which I have played that role, is to fight against injustice and a crime which has ruined his life. All his family members are killed by a politically connected criminal, and how he gets a verdict or nyay मैं कहूँगा, for justice for his and put that man to lead him to punishment which he has to get. So it's a fight. Otherwise, normally we think that a 75-year-old man having no resources, ordinary person, how can he fight such a powerful people? So this film is all about that, and
so again a message actually.
Again a message that you don't worry where you are. If you have a will, you have a way, so you can do it. So this is what the film is all about. It's going to be released on 9th of January, and in 150 theatres. It's Hindi, and it's made in mostly in West Bengal, Canning and Sundarbans and all that. So it's actually and most of the actors are taken from local actors are there. So it was also to give them an opportunity to get an exposure of of a film which is released nationwide, and also to our students who acted and who also participated in every department like cinematography, costume, makeup, and all the backward integrations and things like that, pre-production, production, post-production, and so on. So that
You
was
engaged your students as much as possible in the
yeah.
film.
All 4 films, our students were engaged, and I also wanted to prove a point, because when I was in school, I was told by somebody who came to my school for enacting a play that Mr. Pradip, you can't act, so don't even try acting. So for 70 years I thought I can't act, and then I thought that I always tell my students that the biggest pleasure in life is to do things, other things you can't do. So I must set an example. I must practice what I preach. So just to make a point, I acted in the first film, and then I found that I was not all that bad, because Jarina Wahab, Mukesh Rishi, Mustaq Khan were veteran actors of Bollywood, told me that we don't believe that you're acting for the first time, and your acting is as natural. I mean, our acting looks like acting and your acting doesn't look like acting. It's such a natural. And today, everybody in Bollywood wants natural actors. Your acting should be like real life. So even in this film, we just did a premiere show in Bombay, and all the veteran actors and directors and distributors and press, everybody had come and seen the film, and they said, we can't believe that you are not an actor. You are not a professional actor. You have done so well. Your acting was absolutely realistic and all. So it's just finding another aspect of life. Okay, business is one thing, but you may have other talents, or you may have other aspirations, or so I'm just a message that age is just a number. You can always do things you wanted to do. Once you have reached a point that you don't really have to work for money, you have enough money to survive, and at my stage the children are grown up, settled, they're doing their own, they don't need my help.
Business is being run on auto mode.
Business is run by, my son has joined PS, he's the current chairman, and my daughter is looking after my college. My daughter-in-law looks after our animation business. So I really don't have to work for money. They are all settled. So I'm pursuing things which I thought I should do before I leave the world.
So how does it feel to reinvent oneself at although age is a number, as you rightly said, but 75 at the age of 75, trying to reinvent oneself, that too in something like acting, and on large screen people will come and see your acting performances. How does it feel?
See, it feels nice because it is very inspiring to people who watch it. It's just a wake-up call to people who say, "Oh, now I'm retired and now nothing is left to live." And I said, "What is nothing to live? I tell them that today is the first day of the rest of your life. So just think, the life starts today. Now what you will do? So whatever you had not been able to do all your life, start doing that. It's never too late. You are never too young or old to do anything new. Yeah, you can do anything, anytime. All you need to do is have the courage, intentions, and the will to do that. If you have that, nothing can stop you from doing it, and you can excel also.
So has it been your philosophy or principle in business also, that what you said few minutes back is very important, that try doing something that you cannot do. That's a challenging thing.
Yeah.
So in business also, did you try that? Or?
Yeah, in business also we tried that, because I am a first generation entrepreneur. My father was in service, and everybody thought that, oh, real estate requires so much of investment. I didn't have real money. My father was not left much money in my. In fact, when I started my first real estate deal, I didn't even have 100 rupees in my pocket, and I did a deal of about 20 lakhs I signed a deal with Lord Sinha's brother, who has come from London, Lord Anindya Kumar Baron Sinha, and 7 Lord Sinha Road deal. And I made 8 lakhs of rupees without investing a copper. Then our first project in Chakrabelia Road was also, whole project was built with negative capital. We never put any money of our own, and we made in those days 40 lakhs of rupees in that. So almost 35 years back. So, but of course the model was different. We didn't have money to buy land, so we always persuaded our landlord that you come as a joint venture, you give us your land, we'll build it. How will we build? How will we get finance to build that? Is by advance sales of the flats, or based on our reputation or our goodwill and things like that. So it was a very different model, and imagine that we were competing with third generation builders and people who are already established builders. They were, we are just a new startup, and today we have done highest number of projects in Kolkata city. We have done more than 200 projects, almost 20,000 apartments. I don't think any other builders have been able to achieve, and today any deal which is there in Calcutta first comes to us. We are perceived as the best and the biggest, or at least the most reliable and trustworthy builders. Maybe not biggest, if that be so, but of course our reputation is very high.
So the first deal which you mentioned, was it by luck, as many would like to perceive it, or was it by some business acumen, some vision, or courage and confidence that you exhibited at that
See,
age?
it was all three. I won't say it was not luck. To get a deal like that, of course, was luck. But to execute that deal required courage, because Mr. Sinha wanted 12 lakhs of rupees and he wanted 1,20,000 rupees advance, which I didn't have. But I knew that Mr. Sinha cannot encash this check, because being a foreign national, he needs a Reserve Bank permission, which will take at least 4 months' time. So my check will not go for encashment for 4 months. In 4 months, I have to find somebody else whom I can sell the property. That courage, that foresight, that informations I had, because I knew my subject well. So we did that deal. I could sell the property within a month to a customer who paid me 21 lakhs. I bought it for 12 lakhs. So I made a money. I didn't invest because I just gave him a check which he was not able to encash. He encashed only after I completed my transactions. So it was all three. I would say it was luck why the deal came to me. It was courage and insight, and to grab that deal and do it.
So what you have made, the business empire that you have made over the years, it's if I may use an old business adage, it's never envy owner's pride. So as you rightly mentioned, 20,000 apartments, 200 projects, not a matter of joke. So as you look back, what would you like to say to the young entrepreneurs who are coming, and maybe in real estate, maybe in some other
See, I always tell my young entrepreneur that don't believe when people tell you something can't be done first. I always tell them that if your scheme is approved by everybody, don't do it, because everybody will be doing that and you will be heading a very competitive environment. The best deal is, or best scheme is, or a best business plan is when everyone says this can't be done, this is impossible. That means you are getting into a faka mati goal, because nobody is going there. Yeah, because everybody thinks it can't be done, so you have a big advantage being a single player and getting into it. Then find a way to do it. Use your brain or use your insight and do it. People told me when I started my real estate business, my own Mamaji told me, oh, how will you do this and that and all that. I never listened to him, and I did it. When I went to Germany to do I'm one of the highest seller of granite tombstone in German market. Mr. Veermani, who is the biggest manufacturers of tombstone and granite products in India, told me, Mr. Chopra, it can't be done. He and Enterprising Enterprises both said, oh, we are not able to do it, so don't, you'll be putting your head to the wall. It can't be done. We have not done it because the quality specifications of German customer can't be met by Indian manufacturer. I said, okay, good. I did it. I opened the door for everybody, and 237 German factories closed down because they couldn't stand our competition. Now everybody is selling. They asked Mr. Veermani what happened. He told me, Mr. Chopra, you're a very courageous man. So people give up easily. And I told Mr. Veermani that had you been there, there was no chance for me to enter because you are such a big businessman or biggest dealer from India. He had no chance because you were not there. Because you thought it can't be done, I got the entry and I was first mover advantage. Now you are second, I am first in this market. So I always tell students or entrepreneurs, do things which other things can't be done.
Can be done.
And that's the biggest pleasure. It gives you a lot of sense of achievement and it is a better strategy to do a business.
So was it the same thought, same kind of belief when you started or got into this education business or starting up a business school so many years back?
See, it was not a business school. It was, everyone thought that, creating a institute like Harvard or Kellogg's or Wharton or Oxford or Cambridge is not possible now in India. Just to prove them wrong. I don't say that we have achieved that so far, but we are on the way, and I can tell you that many ways we are better than Harvard, Kellogg's, Wharton. Mr. Albert Ford, who is head of the Ford Foundation and also who is head of ISKCON, who has built the biggest Hindu temple in Mayapur. Mr. Ford visited our college. We were very tiny that time. It was just the beginning of the college. We are now 10 times bigger and we have 100 times more students. Mr. Ford, having visited our college, told me that, Mr. Chopra, I am on the board of many of Ivy League colleges and university. I had not seen more inspiring campus than yours. He has written also there. The whole idea, he said, look, because he was very spiritual and all that, he said, look, all these universities and colleges, they teach knowledge, but your life requires more than knowledge. Your life requires wisdom. Your life requires life skills. A plus B whole square, every child in the whole world learns. You never use this in your life. But nobody tells you how to handle a failure, how to handle a setback, how to handle disappointment, because there are must. They will come in everyone's life and you are absolutely no clue. You are absolutely not trained to handle such failures or disappointment. No college, no school, no parents, no peers, nobody teaches you. You are just left. And many times in such situation you go and commit suicide. You just give up. You think there is no hope. The college should teach you this also. These are life skills. And there is a wisdom. When you come to our college, our wall speaks. Our wall speaks of wisdom, age-old wisdom, where you can see one sentence can change your life. We have many stories in our scriptures where one sentence by a guru have changed somebody's total life. We have such transformation. Angulimal got changed because Buddha gave him one sermon. We have in Jain philosophy many. You see, there's so many. Just one incident or one sentence have changed somebody's life. Such powerful quotes are there on the walls. We don't know which will change whom, but when you keep on seeing thousands of such quotes surrounding you, you don't know that spark can happen any time. And I always say that why waste your wall space? Your wall space can also impart those very valuable knowledge which is we call wisdom in students. Just put it there. This is exactly how, when I went to Oxford University, I said, look, I can't find that, Charles Darwin or Newton was here. I don't see any Newton's picture, or I don't see any Newton's quote in your whole university. Whereas every classroom of ours is like a museum of some great person's life. Yeah, if you get into our classroom A called Ajim Premji or Bill Gates or Charlie Chaplin, you see the quotes of Charlie Chaplin, his life, his achievement, all these things are there. Every classroom is like a museum of that person's life. So when you are entering the classroom, you are surrounded by those thoughts and those people, and you get inspired if you are. But that doesn't happen in Oxford and Kellogg's or Wharton. So I said, in this way we are better, and which Mr. Ford said, yes, you are better. So I said, okay, this first step, we'll go.
So upgrading from knowledge to wisdom has been kind of your turning point in terms of your educational success. So you have been a real estate entrepreneur, businessman, then this education. I wouldn't say business, but it was also driven by a mission. And then you taught yourself as a teacher also. You are very popular and among the students. I remember last time you narrated some anecdotes and incidents when old students still keep writing, sending you messages and all that. How inspiring you were.
No, I see. My highest point as a teacher was I got a call from a girl who was in my first batch of soft skills, they were life skills. She is right now working for United Nations, and she said, I just now gave a presentation, and the Secretary General came and, shook my hand and said, what a great presentation. And I remembered, sir, on the first day when you asked me to speak for 2 minutes standing and narrating the happiest moment of my life, I was shivering. I had a sore, a dried, throat, and I was not able to speak a word. And you said you have to speak. At least you speak about yourself or something like that. And I felt so humiliated. After that, I decided that I will not miss any chance, and I'll be the first to speak in all future classes. And then you said, when we left, that grab every opportunity to speak, only practicing. By practice, you will become proficient. And I kept that promise. And today, I was able to give this. And sir, thank you for changing my life. She called after almost 25 years. She was in the first batch. She called from US, and she told me, thank God you have not changed your number. I was just hoping that maybe I'll be able to call you. So these things keep on happening, and you feel very happy because, people tell me that why wouldn't you stay in PS, because you would have built more buildings, this and that and all that. I said, instead of making 10 more buildings every year, I would make 10 more Pradip Chopras in a year. I'll create human capital. The impact of that on the society, on the nation, on humanity will be much more than making 10 more buildings. Buildings can be made by anybody. This is developing human capital is more difficult, challenging, and worth doing. That's exactly what I'm trying.
Out of all this, making houses, then teaching or running an educational institution, and then now making films and acting to it, what was it that you enjoyed most?
See, I enjoyed everything. When I was building PS Group, the ambition was to make a great company, a company which is different than the rest. After that, the passion was to create an educational institution with a difference. So I enjoyed that also, building from scratch, starting with 23 students in the first batch. Today we have more than 2,300 students. Starting with 20,000 square feet, today we have 250,000 square feet. That journey was also very, very enjoyable, and we loved it. Now, making films, and we are also doing a lot of films made out of artificial intelligence, and we are now setting up a studio for making films on artificial intelligence based on Indian mythology, historical stories, which earlier was very expensive to make. Now with artificial intelligence you can make. And I'm also making museums. I'm making one museum in Sundarban. I've finished making one museum in border security force in the border of India and Bangladesh, Petropol. We are making one textile museum in Murshidabad. We are making one family museum in Murshidabad and another one is in Bikaner. So different concepts of museums. Now you can use artificial intelligence, virtual reality and augmented reality. You can really make amazing things at a very low cost. The technology is slowly becoming cheaper. You can do amazing things. For instance, if you go and see Amer Palace or Chittorgarh, I can, with light and sound and with augmented reality and I can recreate the whole war scene. You can see the Mughal army trying to climb up in the Chittor fort, and there are cannons fighting from the top, and you can't believe that this real scene you are seeing on Chittor at a cost which anybody can afford. So these are the future plans, that we have the highest number of monuments in the world. If I was the head of the World Heritage, the committee, I would select 10,000 monuments in India which are worth or which are eligible to get World Heritage Site status. We have amazing things in this country. So, but we don't market it well, and we don't take the whole experience of seeing these monuments. With technology, you can see such amazing experience you can happen. So these are the things which are now somebody has to do, and we have all the ingredients to do that. We have a very exhaustive library. We have 1,75,000 books. Most of the books are on different aspects, and there are amazing things possible. I can make Newton come and teach physics. With artificial intelligence and virtual reality. You can see Newton standing in the classroom and talking about, the law of, all the Newton's law, and I can get Michael Faraday and talk about electricity. I can get, any expert. He can come and talk, and at multiple locations. You have to just create one software, and the same hardware can create this. Just imagine the students will get so excited when let's say in our classroom, which is dedicated to Charlie Chaplin, where Charlie Chaplin himself comes and talk how to act. Just imagine, it's such a fun learning. This is all possible today, and it's not very expensive. We can do it. We have already done it in our college. When I became 70-year-old, I had one person, my daughter gave me that as a present, speaking from the podium, and nobody could imagine that it is not Mr. Chopra. Mr. Chopra is sitting here watching that, and she told me that you give a lecture when I get students from Harvard, Kellogg's, Wharton. Students, instead of going to Kellogg's, Wharton comes to ILEAD, you give that, welcome address. And I gave, and nobody could believe that, I'm sitting here and somebody else, my replica is there. So it's very easy. I can do it for Pradip Chopra, I can do it for anybody. I have recently made films with artificial intelligence where, Maharaja Ganga Singh Ji are coming and talking about my grandfather because they were very close to each other, or Rao Bika is coming and talking about how he established Bikaner. All these things are possible. We are doing it in our own college, our students are doing it. Now, linking it with augmented reality and virtual reality, you can actually make that person come and walk in this hall and talk, and all these things is possible.
Making it realistic.
Making it realistic. There are a lot of such videos there on the YouTube. You can see, Shashi Tharoor talking to Shashi Tharoor, One Sasvita rule is real, another one is virtual. You can't make out who's real and who's virtual. So it's all possible.
Normally, when people grow old, I'm not saying you have grown old, but you are going younger by the day. So, normal trend is that people are normally averse to technology, technological adoption, and all that. But in your case, your love to embrace and adopt technology and keep yourself updated with the technological advancement. uh, How did it happen? Were you very tech savvy and your love?
No, I was not tech savvy. I would say that I'm very, I'm a dreamer. Let me put it this way. I always dream. This is the thing. Now these technologies are only tools to realize those dreams. They are not, I am not doing because this technology, I have to use this technology. I am doing it because I want to achieve. I am just imagining that what will happen, suppose if I can create the whole scene of the battle on the fort walls. Somebody is trying to climb and suppose, how can I do it? Yeah. So now there is a, my another ambition is places like Sundarban doesn't have a health care. No doctors want to go there. They just, so how do you provide healthcare services in almost more than 500,000 villages of India where there is no healthcare available. Now there is a China, they have experimented, they are running a hospital in Beijing where 10,000 patients are treated every day, there is no human doctor available. And their accuracy rate of diagnosis is 92%, whereas a human doctor can't go beyond 65%. This is a solution for India's healthcare. So we are now also building a first of its kind of hospital in remote areas where doctors don't want to go, using these technology. And I am using this technology every day with my AI. I had a problem with my restless leg syndrome, which no neurologist, no doctor able to give me the solution. My chat GPT gave me the solution and it really worked and I am fine. So it's not one example. My wife is hyper-diabetic. When she went to a diabetic doctor, he was so rude that her sugar level, spiked. And she was very, very angry. Then I made her talk to the chat GPT. Chat GPT was very compassionate. They had a conversation for almost 40 minutes and she was very relieved and she said, what is your lifestyle, what do you eat, what do you do, this and that and all that. And he gave a very good solution and she's fine. So why should we go to human doctors who are rude, arrogant and not have any time to listen to the patients? There is now solutions available. And particularly places where they don't want to go anyway. But those people needs, they have to be given medical assistance. Today, if something happened in Gosaba Island in the middle of the night, that person has to die. There is no doctor available, there is no healthcare service available. This is the solution. I want to make a proof of concept that this is possible. Everything which you have done, these upcycling of things in my house or in my campus or in two of my resorts, whole idea is to make a proof of concept, because architects will not believe. They are bent upon saying that, oh, if you use old material, it will cost more because it requires more labor, it will take more time and it will look like a trash. I said all three are myths. Come to my house, it doesn't look like a trash house, it looks like a palace. My own granddaughter says that compared to her father's house, my house looks grandeur. It had cost almost 30% less than my son's interior and we finished at half the time than my son took. So all three are wrong. These are proof of concept. Unless you show them.
A lot of myths actually.
Huh?
Lot of myths and
because unless you show them it is doable, they will not believe. So this is a proof of concept. It can be done. So these are, see, today everyone around me is very anti artificial intelligence, it will take away jobs and this and that. I said it will create more jobs than it will take away. When computers came, the same thing you said, oh, computers are coming, it will take away jobs. And it created more jobs than it took away. This is new technology. You can't just, I always say that no army can stop an idea whose time has come. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. You can hate it or you can like it, but you just can't ignore it. Yeah? You have, and it is not that artificial intelligence is going to replace humans. It is the people proficient in artificial intelligence will replace those who are not. So you better learn to use it, otherwise you are out.
So basically, you prefer using technology to accomplish a mission, a bigger mission,
yes.
rather than using technology just for the sake of using
exactly. I am trying to find solutions for our major problems in life, in country and all that. So that is the whole idea. It's not.
So you just heard, as he himself put it, a dreamer at 75 who is making films, acting in it. Then, although he said he is not creating houses any longer, but it's broadly his vision under which houses are being still created. He runs an academic institution whose first batch student still keeps writing to him. How inspiring was his first day message. So a multifaceted, truly multifaceted person. I am sure he will get time to translate many of his further dreams into actions. It was wonderful and fascinating talking to you, Mr. Chopra.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure next time we meet, you will have many more stories to narrate, which will be inspiring for the generations to come. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
আনন্দ আর ভালোবাসার দীপ্তিতে গড়া সমুজ্জ্বল পরমা, ঠিক তোমারই মতো। শ্যাম সুন্দর কোম্পানি জুয়েলার্স, আগরতলা, উদয়পুর, ধর্মনগর, কলকাতা।